Hello everybody, today I'm up at my brother's place, our Nick, and he's busy converting this Iveco Daily into a motorhome, a motor caravan. So it's the Iveco Daily 35S12 with a 2.3 diesel engine in it. It's an 08, so that's 2008, 08. Now, he bought this van a little while ago and he's been slowly converting it. Put himself some solar panels on the roof and an aerial and one thing and another, and I'll show you that in a bit. He's been doing some body work on it, and eventually this will be going away for a full respray. Put these windows in it. He's slowly tidying the body work up. Already put his on-demand hot water heater in it, and I'll show you that when we have a look inside. There's a bit of work to do down this corner, straighten it up and welding one thing and another, and this panel had quite a groove in it when he got it, and is in the process of straightening all that up. When he bought it, it had a destroyed engine in it, so he's taken the engine out and he's replaced that. So, we'll have a look at what's on that roof. So on the roof, it's fitted two 200 watt solar panels. It's put the TV aerial on, and then at the side of it there's a vent that goes into the shower stroke washroom toilet area. It's put an electric fan sunroof air vent in there, and it's put one on the back. Doing a pretty good job so far. Well, we'll take a look inside. Bathroom. I'll show you in the back where it's at so far. And it's at a good stage now, because anybody who's thinking of doing this, it's at a stage now where it's quite very easy to explain. Now the floor, it's laminated. It's not laminated. It's a vinyl floor that's glued down. But underneath the floor, my brother wanted to make sure that the water pipes for these service units, like for the water heating, the sink, etc., and the shower, weren't underslung underneath the van. He wanted them in the van. So he's built a series of wood lats on the floor and sectioned it, which has then been filled in with polystyrene, and also where the pipes are now coming out of the floor for the hot and cold water, for the sink at this side and the water heater, and for the shower unit down here, the hot and cold pipes there, and now underneath the floor, inside the van, and running to where they have to go. So the van will eventually have an underslung water tank which will be insulated, and an underslung wastewater tank, grey water, and also possibly on this side underneath the van there will be a gas bottle fitted. So under here, now these cheap Chinese diesel heaters, people like them or people hate them, but I have one of these in my Transit and they're very, very good. So this is a 5 kilowatt diesel heater. Fantastic little bits of kit. Warm the vans up really, really quickly. Very easy to fit. They're just a simple 12 volt system with a supply pipe from either its own fuel tank, or you could run the fuel pipe straight into the vehicle's own fuel tank and run it this way, and they are exhausted underneath. So this is the exhaust with its silencer on for the internal diesel heater. My brother also modified the exhaust of the van to come out of this side, because obviously underneath there's going to be underslung water tanks, wastewater tanks, gas tanks, etc. So that's the floor and the diesel water heater. Now this here is an IMAS on-demand gas water heater, which will work superb in this van. You just turn your hot tap on, and it heats your water like a boiler would in your house at home. Very efficient, very, very quick. So you're not having to store hot water. So for example, my brother will go with his wife and the grandchildren. Whereas in say a caravan heating system, hot water heating system, yes, you do get a certain amount of storage in some of the more modern ones, but as soon as you turn the hot tap on, this water system will start to supply you with hot water. So on the ceiling, my brother's put in these touch control 12 volt lights. I'll come to the ceiling in a minute. So around the door frames at either side is de-rusted all the inner jambs, and then they've been carpeted. And then across the top here is having run the wiring in for a reversing camera, and also this van's going to have a CCTV equipment in it, so there's also the wiring there for the rear facing CCTV. It's cut out and put in these 12 volt air vents. The ceiling is exactly the same as the panelling on the walls. So what you have is using this insulation, which is recycled plastic, recycled loft insulation. It's quite thick, as you can see there. That's probably, I think it's 4 inch, 100 mil, yeah, so it's just over 4 inch. So bare van side, stuck the insulation in first, then you put this over the top of it, which is this insulation here. So I can show you on this wall. So prior to doing the walls, he put all his wiring in first. So all the wiring that's going to come for this area and for over here, which I'll explain to you in a second. So it's bare walls, 100mm insulation, and in this case, like I say, it's a plastic recycled. Then the silver covering on top for a vapour barrier. All gaps and etc. are then taped over with insulation, the appropriate insulation tape for covering gaps. So you've got your insulation, you've got your water vapour, and you've got any meeting areas between these that are also taped over. That's how he's insulated the walls. Then these windows, these are plastic windows, which are double skinned, so they're double glazed. So you can see how he cut the frame, the size out he required. He then put a wooden frame in, which then you attach the actual window unit to the frame, and then on this side, so what you have then, you have your gap. You have your gap here where you build your internal frame, which is done over this side. So he's built his internal frame in here, then carpeted it, and then what you have is you have your blackout blind. You have your blackout blind here, and also your fly net at the top. So these are very, very modern windows, so you can push this up as a blackout blind. You can put them in any position you require, and have the window open with the fly net in position. So he's put that one in, he's put one in over here, and then he's put one in down the front, like so. Now these cassettes that he's bought, they're very, very modern, very, very nice, and they do have the cap ends on the top, but at the minute he hasn't fitted them because the plastic is covered in the thin layer of protective sheeting. So when everything's finished how he likes it, he'll just peel them off and then put the cap ends back on. Over the cab, this area here, cab over, this will be made into cupboard space at some time. And in this area here, so against this back wall, out across the floor to this area, it's going to have, is having made a bespoke rock and roll bed, three quarters, and this is where, if the grandchildren come, this is where they will sleep. But this rock and roll bed is also a double seating area with its built-in headrests and seat belts, so it keeps anybody who travels in that area on proper seating and safely secured in with seat belts. So he's built a shower cubicle with toilet. With a door, I'll shut the door. Another 12 volt electric vent above here. So this is the shower unit. And inside here there's the C200 swivel base toilet, like this. Vanity unit above. Plastic lined keep clean wall area with a shower base. Rock and roll swivelling mixer taps for hot and cold. And then above is put in a 12 volt extractor vent, and this light will be switched, as will this vent above. And on the back of the, so what's now the external part of the shower, this is the filling cap for the flush toilet. This comes down and you fill it with your appropriate fluids, etc. And in the bottom is put a door in that opens this way, so you can slide the toilet cassette out for emptying and cleaning. Now, from this side onwards, in this area, there'll be a 12 volt compressor fridge with a sink and hob above, hot and cold water, and a gas hob. And then there'll be some kind of cupboard space built up to the roof, and then possibly another small window here similar to these, and then conventionally running towards the back there'll be a bench seat down this side, similar to like what you see in a caravan, which will then make this area into a big double bed. And you'll either have a table fitted here, a slotting table here, or maybe further on down at the front. Now, I showed you earlier on the roof of the van there's two 200 watt solar panels. So what will happen is they will be connected up in this area. There'll be cupboards built here to take all the electrical equipment, etc. So there'll be an MTPP controller for the solar panels on the ceiling, which will run down to two 130 amp hour leisure batteries, so that will supply the 12 volt side of the system. There will also probably be a 240 volt system put in the van at some stage, but at the moment it'll be running on 12 volt solar and gas for cooking and hot water. So this is where he is at it with the minute. These lights in the ceiling are touch control on and off. Nice lights. LEDs give plenty of light, and that's where the van is at the moment. So a few minutes ago in this video you would have seen where it got to so far, so I've come back up today just to catch up. And what I didn't do, what I didn't explain to you was these panels I just put on the wall here is fixed thin battens on the ribs of the van and attach them with self-tapping screws, and then these panels are partly glued and partly nailed and screwed on, as you can see here. And then also these are in effect a nail with a cap head on them, and you start to put in the bench seats in. They're buttoned across the back and they'll fasten to the sides of the van, and these extend out, and eventually this will make up the whole double bed area. So this is how it's going to make the bed. This is just a mock-up because all this needs fitting in and one thing and another. So behind here he's now put this bottom board on, which you didn't see previously, and this batten here is going to attach to a batten that's behind this board. So if I show you at this side, give you a better idea, a batten will run across level with these on the inside, then it'll be boarded as it is over there, and then the back of the seating area stroke bed will be fitted down to this batten, screwed through here, fastened onto the floor, and then he's going to fabricate some kind of fitting that will go in the middle here down to the floor to support the middle of the bed. So that's coming on pretty good now. So that's where he's at the minute. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you in another one later on. Bye for now.